cut. Maybe they're, together more often. Also, that huge bug is terrifying me right now, and he's going to commit suicide. He's going to commit a Stanley Uris right in the fire.
Yeah, he's going for it.
Get out.
No.
I don't want him to die.
Oh, he's gone.
He's too far, man. What is going on, Movie Maniacs? I'm Matt.
And I am Zach.
And this is the previews, everyone's favorite part of the movie. Zach, the time has come.
It has.
2019 most anticipated film.
Yes.
It Chapter 2 was released today.
Yes.
Directed by Andy Muschietti, and who's it starring?
Yeah, it's starring. Who do we got? I got James McAvoy, Jessica Chastain. We got the guy who played Eddie, which I didn't really know much from
James
him.
Ransone.
James Ransone,
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yep.
Then can't forget
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader
As Richie. Yep.
Then we got Isaiah Mustafa
As Mike.
And then Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise himself.
Yep, but you also cannot forget Jay Ryan, who played Ben. I know this is a big ensemble piece,
mm-hmm.
but I mean, you already know the story about it, okay?
Yes.
27 years later, after all the massacres that happened in Derry, Maine, the losers come back
to
and have to
Pennywise. Ha 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 ha.
Love it, love it, love it. So, Zach, did this live up to the hype? Or did it not?
Actually, I want to throw that question at you, sir.
Boy.
I want to throw that question at you. This is your most anticipated movie of the year.
Okay. I thought It Chapter 1 was great.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect 5 stars.
5 stars, okay.
Perfect 5 stars. This movie was good.
Okay.
Not great.
Okay.
Okay? So I would say, first off, just to sum it up real quick, what It Chapter 2 did better than It Chapter 1 were the scares. It's a lot more scares, a lot more tension. No matter what you hear out there, there was a lot more scary, jump scares.
Yeah, jump scares.
In this one. However, what I loved about It Chapter 1 so much was the chemistry that the cast had. Don't get me wrong, this cast had a lot of chemistry, but not nearly as much as the original losers did in the first one.
Agreed. But yes, you are right. But my biggest issue I had with the first one was there wasn't enough scares, there wasn't enough Pennywise, and that's what I wanted more. Especially just seeing the first scene from the first one that I seen was of course the Georgie scene.
Yeah.
And it got me so excited because I thought it was going to be very, very scary. And when I've seen it, I honestly looked at it more as a comedy than a scary movie. And I feel like that's why, of course, I did like it a lot, but I feel like I went into it with the wrong mindset.
Yeah.
But now that this one came out, it definitely made up for it. Now I look at both of these as one movie.
Okay. Hey, that's a good way to. I guess that's a good way to look at it.
I don't really want to try to compare the two.
You know what? It's very tough to compare the two, but you almost kind of have to.
I mean,
right?
I know, but I mean, again, it's not gonna. Just this added so much more to the first one. Now I can go back to the first one and feel so much better about it.
Okay. Hey, to each their own.
Yeah.
Because so let's start off with this. Okay, the story. Everybody knows the It book. Hella long, right?
Yeah,
Bible. So fucking long, okay?
Yeah, I think it's exactly 1,300 pages, I believe.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Have you ever read it?
I have not.
Okay, I have read it before. Everybody knows from the miniseries in the book that the second part is not nearly as strong as the first part.
Okay.
And I feel in the movie, it definitely translates that way. But I will put it this way. They did put some interesting, twists without making it too ridiculous like in the book. The reason the book is 1,300 pages long is because I want to say probably about, 800 of it is all bullshit. It's so bad. It is so bad. The only stuff that are great are obviously the stuff with Pennywise and the kids.
Yeah, I mean, and this movie was still very ridiculous, though.
It was still ridiculous, but not nearly as ridiculous. I mean, it's really not a spoiler. Man, are there godlike turtles talking to the kids in these movies?
Oh, is that?
No, there isn't.
That's in the book? Really?
It's in the book. Was there a child orgy in the movies? No. It's in the book. Was there also teenagers giving each other blowjobs, not knowing what's going on? That's in the book, guys. If you want some of that action, read the book. Okay. But
Okay, no, fair enough.
yeah, fair enough. But I guess I still enjoyed it though. Like I don't want to take it like, hey guys, Matt, you didn't like it. Like the story is still there, and the stuff that they rewrote was necessary in order to be translated to a movie. There's also stuff that they put in this movie, and we'll get to it in the spoiler section, that totally should have been rewritten. And I feel like that was the complaint that I had with the first one and maybe the second one, is they don't follow the book that much, which is fine. I'm not a book purist.
They didn't with this one. They did not follow the book.
No, they didn't. They didn't. There were elements that were
like
taken
I said,
from.
obviously there's no turtles or child orgies.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. And it's the same thing with the first one. They followed, I guess, the heart of the story.
Okay.
They didn't follow it point by point.
Okay.
Because then there'd be Wolfman running around and Dracula and the Mummy, and they didn't do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like Chapter 2, it had the heart of the book, but it didn't follow it to a T, which I liked. But again, there's one part where they kept it almost to a T from the book. God, if you're going to rewrite it, might as well rewrite the whole thing, because everybody knows that in it, there's a part that is just so stupid. We'll get to it, okay?
Yeah,
But what did you think of the story?
No, I thought, because I haven't read the book, so I don't know, and I guess this is what I was thinking about, I guess, when it came to the story. I definitely felt that there were parts missing from it.
Well, this cut was supposed to be 4 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I was definitely thinking about that. I guess when I first realized it was, I don't want to say it right now because it might be a spoiler, but there was one character that was completely thrown away in the miniseries, and when I saw that they were bringing him back, I thought they were going to use him a little bit more, but they pretty much scratched him, just threw him out, just like when things started getting very heated, just toss them away. And, and
I could only imagine what character you're talking about.
Yeah. And because I feel like just that just his story alone was is such a creepy idea, and I feel like they could have done a lot more with it. But when the director's cut comes out, we might see more of it.
Yeah, I'm hoping the director cut comes out. A huge positive for me was obviously the chemistry that the losers had in the first one. Did you think the chemistry was still there with the new cast?
That was one of my biggest things I was skeptical about when I heard the cast of this movie, because they went from getting these random kids. You could also say Finn Wolfhard, as the kind, he's acted before, but everyone else was kind of nobodies.
Yeah.
And just what I was reading about the making of the first one was they were sending these kids out on their day-to-day lives just to hang out and actually become friends, and you really did feel that.
Yes.
And it definitely showed on the screen, like you said. But when they're getting these really big cats, Jessica Chastain, James McAvoy, Bill Hader, I was afraid the chemistry was going to be a little off, but I was surprised, and there's so many times where I could see those kids in these actors
definitely.
Many times. I mean, I guess safely, obviously Bill Hader, he's like the one that everybody keeps talking about, sure, but the one that I feel like nobody's talking about is Eddie. I feel like Eddie really, really stood out, just the way he was yelling at everybody, just even at the same tone, and I could picture young Eddie doing that.
And they looked pretty damn similar, too.
There was that fade shot where both those faces were...
You're like, whoa,
Yeah.
And this is my gripe. I agree with you. I thought the cast was really spot on. But this movie, they're separated the majority of it. When this movie gets going in the beginning, they're just like, hey guys, we got to go ahead and separate. And I'm like, ooh, okay, let's do that. And then they get together, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. Like them throwing insults at each other. I mean, the chemistry between Richie and Eddie, it was like nothing happened. They're like, hey, we're gonna keep doing it. And I love that. But they spent so much time away from each other, and that's what really, really bummed me out. But something that didn't bum me out about the cast, Bill Skarsgård again.
Oh, he came in at full force, full force. I still don't know quite yet if I put him on top of Tim Curry, because I don't think you could really, but I definitely did not think he was no Tim Curry from the first one. But, he did a great job.
Yeah, there's, in the trailer, I mean, you know how that Georgie scene came up in the first one where we were like, that was probably one of the few scary scenes in that movie?
Yeah.
This one has quite a few scenes that almost, I think, is one in particular, tops the Georgie scene.
The bleachers.
The bleacher scene.
Yeah.
The bleacher scene.
I mean, but I'd say it was on par.
I think it succumbs it because it was just, you really saw him luring the girl in and just getting ready to pounce when he got to that point.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Like, I'm still getting chills thinking about it because I knew it was coming up, and then when it came up, I was like, hell yeah. Like, this is great. And the way he toys with the cast was good because he's funny, but not like Tim Curry, like goofy funny.
Yeah.
He's menacing funny.
Yeah.
And he does things that you're just like, ugh, it makes you feel unsettled, you know? And I'm right on that same note too with Tim Curry. Like, I think they're both great at the role. They both do the role differently, though. So if I were to take Bill Skarsgård to throw him in the miniseries, it wouldn't fit. However, if I were to take Tim Curry and put him in this, he wouldn't fit either.
You're right.
So
you're right. Because you could just base off the looks of both of them.
Yeah, based off the looks and just the way they interact, just with everything. You know.
You're right. You're definitely right.
And I can appreciate someone who goes into a role as iconic as Pennywise and takes it over for his own. Because I'm telling you right now, when I have kids, and they're like 6 or 7, I'm like, hey guys, watch it. I put on the Tim Curry one, they're gonna be like, what the heck is this? I put on the Bill Skarsgård one, they're like, okay, can we not watch this? So I give props to him, and I give props to Andy Muschietti because he really, I felt, really got that character out of Bill Skarsgård. Not taking anything away from him, but he had all these ideas, when it came to shooting and how to do it differently.
Yeah, but that just leads into just the direction of this movie. Like, just some of the lighting and the camera angles and all that were so cool. I mean, just even the opening credits when it said "it."
Yeah.
Like that was even really, really cool the way that was. And then there was a scene where it's like it's black and then it zooms up into a puzzle. Yeah. Like it was just like it was shot really, really cool.
Yeah, really creative, and I'm excited to see what he does in the future. So guys, this is our spoiler section of the review, okay? If you do not want to get spoiled of anything, skip to this time point so we can actually get to our star rating of what we thought of it, chapter 2, and really just our overall thoughts. But I wanted to dive in. Zach, they rewrote pretty much the entire book, but they kept the fucking spider in it.
To a degree.
No! It's a spider! It's a spider!
No, just because something has 8 legs doesn't make it a spider. It does not make it a spider.
Stupid. Hey, studio audience, if it's 8 legs and looks like a spider,
it does not look like a spider. It has 8 legs.
Could have been a crab.
Shut up.
I don't know if you heard him. He said could have been a crab.
I mean, he's
right. And like I said, you could have looked at it like that. It wasn't really a spider. I actually was okay with it. I was.
I thought it was hilarious how this movie kept bringing up that Stephen King cannot write an ending, and he can't, right? And he can't. Why the fuck would they keep the ending of this movie?
But it wasn't the same, though. I mean, I don't know how it is written in the book.
He's a spider.
He's a spider, but then he's not a spider. And just because he has 8 legs doesn't mean he's a spider. That doesn't mean it.
I will tell you one thing.
He was still the clown, just bigger with more legs.
Yeah, it was stupid.
And a lot of his legs were stabbing people.
It was stupid. It was stupid. And I'll bring this up too. I will add what I did like about the ending, though, was instead of them fighting this spider with sticks and rocks, which they did in the book.
And slingshots.
And slingshots in the book and in the miniseries. I like how all the characters had their separate fears to overcome, except Mike. And that's, I know exactly where you're going with, where the ending, he was kind of shooed away.
Oh, no, actually, that's what I was not getting into.
What were you getting into?
Bauer.
Oh, okay.
Bauer.
We could get
Yeah, Bauer was who I was going to get into.
Yeah.
I wanted more of Bauer because I really liked the idea of him getting back at the loser club. And he shows up 2 scenes and then he's dead.
Yeah, and I feel like
2 scenes after his initial scene, but
really,
2
that's
scenes
true,
after that.
But I feel with both the It chapters, they really did a disservice to Henry Bowers because everyone thinks of Pennywise like, oh, that's the big baddie. Nobody realizes that Henry Bowers, like, hey, when Pennywise isn't there, Henry Bowers is the one going after everyone, you know?
Yeah.
And I felt like this movie and the last movie really undercut the effect that Henry Powers has on Henry Bowers has on the kids.
But I thought I liked his story in the first one. I thought he played a very menacing bully, and because I guess the one part I did hear from the book that did make the miniseries when he actually carved into Ben, with a knife, and I got that, and it was just like, oh man, this guy means business. And then when he killed his dad, I was like, oh shit, like this guy has issues. All right, overall, your most anticipated movie. What are your thoughts, final thoughts, and score?
My final thoughts are, like I said, it's good, not great. I think it's a good ending to the story, and I felt really upset knowing that I'm not going to get a third one. Like, I really wish, because I love these characters, and like what Andy Muschietti did with both of them, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun. If you enjoy this first one, you're going to enjoy the second one. I'm going to go ahead and give my most anticipated movie of 2019. I'm going to give it 4 mom jokes out of 5.
4 mom jokes? Okay. No,
How about you?
I'm going to be spot on with you. I'm going to do 4 shower caps out of 5.
Perfect.
Well, that's it for this week, Movie Maniacs. If you haven't already, be sure to hit subscribe, give us a thumbs up, hit that bell icon so you don't miss anything. And we'll see you on the next episode of The Previews.
Have a good one.